everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Cooking with Candace. Today we are going to be trying Bella Hadid's viral TikTok pasta. This is a recipe that I came across a while back and it sounded delicious, so I made it and it was good, but for me I felt like it was missing a few things. So I've made it several times at this point, trying to improve and perfect this recipe, and I think I've finally come up with the best way to do that. So I'm going to introduce you guys to my new and I think improved version of Bella Hadid's viral TikTok pasta. So let's get into it. This recipe has so many delicious ingredients, so here's a rundown of everything you'll need to recreate this dish. First, you're going to need fresh lemon, shallots, and garlic. This recipe has lots of garlic. You're going to need Parmesan cheese. The original recipe has prosciutto, but I'm not personally a fan of prosciutto and I chose to change it out for pancetta. You will need fresh basil. We're also going to need salt and pepper. We are also going to need some crushed red pepper. I live in the south of France, so crushed red pepper can be a bit difficult to find here, which is why I have whole peppers that I had to crush myself. We're also going to need some type of pasta. The original recipe uses spaghetti. I'm not personally a huge fan of spaghetti, so I went with this stuffed pasta that I found in my local supermarket that is stuffed with pesto, basil, and pine nuts, which I felt was a perfect complement to the sauce that we're going to make. You're also going to need pine nuts and olive oil. So these are all the ingredients we'll be using in this dish today. So let's get started prepping all our ingredients. Okay, now that all our ingredients are prepped, it's time to start cooking. So the first step in this recipe is to toast our pine nuts in olive oil. Now, if you've ever used pine nuts before, you probably know that pine nuts are generally toasted in a dry pan. However, in this recipe, we really want to infuse this olive oil with the flavor of the pine nuts, which is why we're toasting it in an oil. It's really important to stir your pine nuts the whole time and to not use too high of a heat so that you don't burn your pine nuts. These are really the star of this dish, so we want to take really good care of them. These look amazing. Now, in Bella Hadid's version of the dish, she just put toasted pine nuts into the recipe. But I found that the best way to really infuse the pine nut flavor through the whole dish is to take half of the pine nuts to save them to put into the dish whole, but to take the other half of the pine nuts and we're going to make this delicious pine nut paste that will just spread the flavor of the pine nuts through the whole dish. I just poured my pine nuts into my mortar and pestle. You can use any sort of hand blender or a fork if you don't have that. And I added a bit of lemon juice and then crushed it together. Now into our hot pan with our pine nut infused olive oil, we are going to put our pancetta to get it nice and crispy. Next, we're going to add our shallots. Next, we add our sliced garlic cloves. And once those have started to soften and become fragrant, we're going to add our diced garlic. Now we can add our crushed red pepper. And now that all of our other ingredients are cooked down, we're going to add our delicious pine nut paste that we made earlier. We're also going to add some more lemon juice, about a tablespoon. After the sauce is done, we'll set that aside and then boil our pasta. Once our pasta is done, we're going to add them into our sauce and mix them together. The final step before serving is to add some fresh basil. We'll add just a few last finishing touches and then we can eat. Alright, so here is my version of Bella Hadid's TikTok pasta, which I personally think is a little bit improved, but please try it out yourself and let me know what you think in the comments. Shall we give it a try? Just gonna make sure I get a little bit of everything in this bite. It's so good. So good. You should definitely give this pasta dish a try. It's really, really good, especially with the lemon added. It's so good. And then crushing the pine nuts up into a paste really just spreads the flavor throughout the entire dish, which is something I was really missing the first time I tried it, just as it was originally in the TikTok. So yeah, if you like pasta, if you like lemon, if you like pine nuts, I highly recommend this dish. Please give it a try and let me know what you think. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my lunch now, but have a great day and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, so this is just me checking in. I had some leftovers from when I filmed yesterday making this recipe that I shared with you, and I tried something new today that I hadn't tried before, and that was adding some cream to the sauce. I was trying to avoid adding more dairy just because it's not in the original recipe, but I figured I've already added stuffed pasta, which is adding dairy anyway, so may as well go on out, add some cream and see how that tastes. And I have to tell you, this is the way to go. So follow the recipe as I showed you in the video, and then add some cream to it. It just makes the sauce a little bit more actually saucy and just makes it a little bit more just decadent and delicious. So yeah, add some cream if you don't mind having more dairy in this pasta, and it just takes it up a notch. Enjoy! Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please be sure to like and subscribe.